recording at the moment. All right, so we're rocking and rolling. Looking at DGP week 2 and Wednesday. On Tuesday, we had one subject and we had one verb, right? One subject, one verb. So how many clauses should we have? If we have one subject, one verb, how many clauses did you all have? Chase says 1. Kingston, do you agree with Chase? Okay, so you had 2 clauses. Where did you put your brackets at for your clauses? Okay, and that's okay to admit. I appreciate a ton, because after you said that, you went, wait a minute, Mr. Kolbuch's family by itself doesn't make sense, right? So you're right, though, that Mr. Colbert's would be the start of one of our brackets. Okay, so you would put a bracket at the start of Mr. Colbert's, right? Where do we think we'd put our other one? Where would we end it at? Remember, you want to have the subject and verb in there, and it has to be a complete thought to be a clause. Huh? After Florida? So what do we do with New York and Nebraska? Are they standing by themselves? Should we include Nebraska and New York? Natalie, you say yes? Then speak up, child. Yes. So your brackets are at the beginning and the end of your sentence. Okay, you can, if you delete something, you can hit Control Z to delete it. Okay, that's undo. All right. So, Helena, Aiden, does that make sense so far? All right. Helena, is that a yes? Is she? Okay. Okay, good deal. So the next part that we need to do is that we need to now determine what type of clause we had. Now, one thing Kingston said was that he said we had an independent clause. Does this clause make sense on its own? Does this clause make sense on its own? Yes. What's that? The whole thing. Yeah, I'm just moving my clause box so we know that it's over our one clause. Does this clause make sense by itself? You're fine, Gracie. We're reviewing week 2 to make sure we've got it right. Okay, plug it in. Gracie just came on. Okay, settle in. Real quick, hey, do we have an independent clause? Does this make sense by itself? Does it need any help to make sense? No, so it's an independent clause. How many of you had it marked as an independent clause? Oh my goodness. Why aren't we getting any responses out of you since we're so freaking smart, huh? All right, so now we have this next box. Remember that I'm also recording on this end, so make sure we're focused even when we're on the Google Meet. Okay. Looking at, since we have one independent clause, what sentence type do we have? What do you guys mark this as? You want simple sentence declarative? So since we have one independent clause, we're saying it's simple sentence? And we're not yelling this at anybody? We're not asking a question. You are correct. On the Google Meets, did you guys get the same thing? Yep. Good deal. Okay. So we've got a simple sentence, independent clause, Kingston, refocus. Did any of you have any problems getting this sentence rewritten correctly? Punctuation's good. Kingston, what'd you struggle with? It was the commas, wasn't it? Oh yeah, you have to continue typing the whole way. Yeah. Like, gotcha. I see what you're saying. So you tried to click on the drawing diagram next? Okay. Okay. So looking at DGP Friday, hey, refocus, because it sounds like most of you got your sentence retyped. Looking at DGP Friday, I told you that this first box, right, in this first box, what always goes there? Do you guys remember? Your simple subject. Good job, Levi. Simple subject goes there. What is our simple subject in this sentence? It is family. It is family. It is family. Now, since it's family, what goes in this box here? Good, Mr. Colbert, you're right. Gracie, as well as a bunch in here. You may have it opposite. Just keep in mind that the simple subject of our sentence is family. It's not Mr. Colbert, right? Mr. Colbert happens to own that family. Okay. How many of you had this switched? Okay. That's all right. That's a normal thing right now. Gracie, focus. Okay. What do we have in this next box? Went. It's always going to be our verb in that second box. Okay. Okay. So you put went to. All right. It's also a common mistake. What winds up happening though is that when you have a box that angles off like this one, that angles off like this one right here, right? That's a prepositional phrase. So what did you guys have in this box? You had to for your preposition? Gracie, Helena, Aiden, were you guys the same way? Okay. So what did we put in these 3 stack boxes right here? Good. Anytime you see a list, this is what the list will look like. Well, obviously with different words. Florida, New York, and Nebraska. What do you think's going here? Our conjunction, because it's bringing all of those together. Okay. Makes sense so far? We good?